Hi, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Grieving Sisters. I'm Jessica.
I'm Elizabeth.
I'm going to fix my chair real quick. I'm good. I thought I was adjusted. I guess I wasn't. Yeah, so we are just, continuing with our grief and just really just being vulnerable to you guys and letting you into our world, really, literally, and what we're doing to kind of cope and things like that. And, we banged out a lot of episodes, obviously, that you guys will see. We try to keep it as fun
as it can be.
Right. Because there's some seriousness.
We don't want to be a doom and gloom type of thing where it's like
Debbie Downers.
Yeah. We want to we believe in that joy and grief can coexist.
Absolutely.
And today's episode is about signs, about messages from beyond. Some people this is a very interesting topic because some people are just like, give me a break. And some people
it's like, diablo.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Right,
You
right,
can't talk about that.
That's the devil.
Lord.
And some people are like, oh my God, that's amazing.
Yes.
And then some other people are like, look out for the signs, like she's around, And it's like, unless you've been in this position, like you really don't, you've got to be here to understand it.
Right.
Because only you know what's normal and natural in your life.
Right.
And then if something happens, you can be like,
damn,
wow, that was somebody from beyond.
Yes. Yeah. And it's only it's certain things, I think it's, for me, for me in my dreams, my ever since my brother passed, I started writing down my dreams. And that actually came to me that he was like, you have to write down your dreams because just write them down because this is where you're going to, whatever you're asking for, it's going to come out. And, he's come to my dreams. I've had situations with dimes, it's just like some funny things that only I would know. Me just telling someone else, they just you wouldn't understand that. Nobody would really understand that. So
yeah. And here, what, it says in the deeps of grief, many people report something extraordinary.
Yeah.
Feeling the presence of their loved ones through signs, dreams, synchronicities, whether it's a cardinal at your window or a flickering.
The red cardinal. It has to be a red one. I have a funny story.
Or a flickering light.
Yes.
Or a familiar scent. These experiences can bring comfort, connection, and meaning after loss. Also, what we're going to be exploring is what is the spiritual, emotional, psychological impact of receiving signs.
Yeah.
Sometimes they scare the crap out of you.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes they make you feel so seen and loved and connected to the person. Sometimes, it could be so many different. I've experienced both.
Has not come to you yet.
Yes.
Okay,
so
good.
I did have one. So a candle was lit on its own.
Oh my gosh.
Which was intense.
Yeah.
And because she knows that we're skeptical, she left a secondary sign.
Yeah.
Because we were like, who the hell's turning this candle on? It was like, not me, not me, not me, not me, not me. And I was like, this is weird. Because the candle was a gift from one of my best friends, Leslie, and her daughter. She's like, her daughter was like, when I like to smell something good when I don't feel good or whatever. And it was a really strong, lavender scented candle. And it was from a child, which I think they're always a little bit more connected than we are.
Yeah.
And so I put the candle in the kitchen and then it had a top on it.
Yeah.
And it was by the sink lit and the whole house smelled like paper was burning or something.
Right. That's interesting.
And so it was what the hell? And then in the closet, so I had, by her picture, I had her Navy patch that says naval doctor or whatever. And I always had it by her picture. And I had tried on a coat that was hers, right? So she told me, I want to buy this coat. Do you like this coat? And I was like, I love this coat. You have to get this coat. While I was in her house, the coat arrived. And I was like, I'm just going to bring it home.
Yeah.
And I feel like she would have wore it much better than me. And so I tried it on in front of my friends the night before the candle was lit.
Yeah.
And I was like, I look like Inspector Gadget in this coat. And I was being silly. And I put the coat over a luggage. And I said, I'm going to put it in this closet tomorrow.
Yeah.
And so the next day the candle was lit, right? But we opened the closet door and her patch was in the bottom of the closet with the closet door closed upside down.
Oh my God. Because she was like, you making fun of me.
Right. So she was like, one, if you didn't believe the candle thing,
Right.
there's no
Hold
way
this.
that would like, it was right. I just said like, I'm going to put this coat in this closet because
Right.
I usually keep coats in the attic.
Right.
But I was putting in a specific closet.
Mm.
So it's interesting.
Yeah. So so I think it was towards the it was almost like a year in. Like I wasn't really getting any, because it was right before COVID. And I'll tell you, it's the craziest story. So obviously, like going into like my mom's side of the family.
Mm-hmm.
So in my dream, the way that like my apartment was set up at the time, you know, my cousin Michelle comes in. I haven't seen my cousin Michelle since I was like 1. So she can walk past me down the street. I would recognize her from pictures, but we don't have this. Like there's none of that. Like we've never had a relationship. And her mom was very sick. She had Alzheimer's. But I didn't know what happened. Nobody knew what happened to this woman. Everybody just went on about their life. When my Aunt Rosie passed away, you know, they were the 3 sisters, my Aunt Rosie, my Aunt Inez, and my Aunt Helen. They all 3 were like, you know, 3 peas in a pod.
Mm-hmm.
But my Aunt Helen, you know, went away. She was in the home. And then like her daughter, it was like a big scandal, like that the lawyer that was involved, he even got disbarred because they like were stealing money from like the government. So she became ward of the state, my Aunt Helen. So I'm just filling you with that little piece, right? So back to the dream. My cousin Michelle comes in. She goes, "Hey, Jess, like, you know, I'm cousin Michelle, this, that, and the other." I was like, "Yeah, I don't know you." And what, like, what? Like, what do you want?
Right.
And she was just kind of like, "Oh, do you remember me?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but I don't know you, like, you know, whatever." So then all of a sudden, like, she kind of like disappeared. And I walked into my living room and I looked by the computer and I saw my brother there, but his head was down. So there was no face. And I was like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" And he's typing on the computer. And I looked on the screen and it said Helen. And I'm like, "What? What's going on?" Like, I was like, "All right, guys." So I get in a group chat with 2 of my other cousins. And I'm like, "Girls, like, I think Aunt Helen's passed and she's not resting, and I have to go and I'm sent on a freaking journey right now. Like I'm on a mission. I'm not kidding though. Wait for the. So now I find out that little bit of information that the daughter's not involved. She became the ward of the state. I asked my one cousin, she's going through her situation. My other cousin's going through her situation. But I'm like, where was the last place she was at? So I called that place. They were like, no, she was transferred here. So I called this other place. They were like, no, she was transferred here. I was like, holy crap. Like, how many places is she going to be transferred to? Finally get to the place and I'm like, "Hi, you know, this is Jessica. I'm her great niece. I just wanted to," I was like, "I know this is bizarre. My brother died almost a year ago. He sent me to go and make sure like she was either okay or if she did pass, like where is she? Like what's going on?" And the lady was like basically almost hysterical on the phone. She's the one that told me, "Oh, well, this is what happened. She was the ward of the state. She passed away on my mom's birthday in 2018, September."
Oh, wow.
So now we're 2019.
Right.
So we're going into 2020. So I'm like, "Oh my God, okay, where is she?" Well, she was cremated because she was the ward of the state. So now I had to call the funeral parlor, and I called the funeral parlor, and I'm like, "Hey," kind of gave him the spiel. They were like, "Oh yeah, that lawyer was this, that, and the other," and you know,
There
just
was
kind
all
of
this stuff surrounding her passing.
all this stuff. Nobody was there for her during her past. She was a school teacher. She was the sweetest, the nicest lady you would ever meet. She was like my Aunt Rosie, just like they were just like pissers, you know?
Yeah.
But to fast forward on the story, he meets me. He was like, "Oh, can you meet me at this cemetery?" I was like, "That's so bizarre," because now my mom's friend was like, "Get me the plaque for my stepdad. Get me the size so that we can get him a tombstone." He met. So I had to meet with them at Holy Cross. So now I have her ashes in my car. I call up. Wait, it's like I'm telling you, it is the most bizarre story.
Such a side quest.
You have no
now
idea.
You're driving around with like ashes.
But now this is right before shutdown. So now I'm like, okay, I got these ashes. I call up the place on Kennedy Boulevard. Now the name just slips me.
Spineri?
No.
Oh.
The not Garden State Mausoleum. Not that's Garden State Mausoleum. No, all the way up. There's another one, Flower Hill. So I'm like, hi. Okay, I just go with the flow.
Like, bear with
me.
Stay with me.
I was like, I got my aunt's ashes in the car with me. This is what's going on. I come find out the sisters bought like themselves like a plot.
Oh.
And so she
So she had a plot, but nobody knew.
For a body, not for ashes.
You can still bury ashes though.
Oh, I know.
Right.
Well, no. But no. So it was like an in the wall. Like it needed a casket and everything. So now I'm telling, so, now it's like a couple of $100. You got to open this up. Now you got to, so I put her with her sister. And the craziest part about that is that like I put her with her sister and I was like, no, the state needs to pay for this. It didn't get done until almost when was I pregnant? In 2022.
Oh, wow.
Beginning of 20 because of COVID.
But you only got the ball rolling because of that message that you got from your brother.
From him. Imagine that.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine. And then it was crazy because while COVID was going on and I had to go back into work,
right.
I kept seeing dimes and I was picking them up from the floor. So when I looked it up, dimes are the sign from.
Oh, really?
From him. Yeah.
You kept finding, it wasn't like.
It was random. I was walking and there was a dime on the floor.
Everywhere.
I put my hand in my pocket and there was like a pair of pants I probably haven't worn in years. And I was like, oh, they fit. Okay, I'm just going to
finding
dimes everywhere.
That's so cute.
Yeah. So that was my crazy like mission story. And then now I finally have her resting in peace. And then I went and I sat there and I sat in front of the front of the niche and I go, no more missions. I'm done with you. I'm done with you. No more missions.
You're like, thanks, Shawnee.
Yeah. But I think that, so she probably was like, no, you got to help me, put me to rest.
Right.
And I just thought it was just the most bizarre thing ever.
Right.
Crazy. Dreams.
Yeah, because she would want to be with her sister. She doesn't want to be cremated.
I mean, listen, well, her sister, they both were, like, they have husbands, but the one husband, that's going down.
They wanted to be together.
The Connolly, crazy Connolly family.
They wanted to be together.
Well, no, the one brother.
I'm going to have to join the military if I want to be buried next to my sister.
Listen,
so I don't think it's going to happen.
Listen, I think it's just.
Can you join the military at 40?
No, they don't want you. You're old.
Too old.
Yeah, no.
Too old.
You might be able to do other things, but.
Right.
Too old.
I could be a military spouse.
There you go. I don't. That's a whole other story. That's a whole other story. Yep. So, and when you brought up the thing about the cardinal, one of the teachers, I was at a barbecue, graduation bar. As a matter of fact, I think it should be like 7th year or 8th year. She so happened to be my brother's Spanish teacher, and she's like, "Oh my God, I loved your brother." Cuban woman. I loved your brother and this, that, and the other. And when her husband died, I had just been looking over on the left and I saw a red cardinal and it was looking at me in the face and I go, oh, okay. Like just.
Yeah, you noticed it, but
I noticed it. I was like, okay. And then I get the call and her son's on the phone. He's like, yeah, my dad just passed. I was like, oh my God. I go, where's your mom? Like, wait, am I like one of the first people? Like, why are you calling? And then the bird was right there.
Interesting. The cardinal thing I actually had with CJ last week. Mm-hmm. So as you know, my son only functions with one lung, right? Yes. And it's because of a congenital heart defect, right? Mm-hmm. He's missing the artery that powers the left lung, so his left lung doesn't have any power. And so we were gearing up for him meeting with the cardiologist that did the catheterization procedure last year, where like they went in through the groin and stuff. It's crazy. What this boy has overcome, I just can't believe it. And so he had been very nervous about going back to the hospital and doing all this stuff and whatever. And he was home. And so he calls me, he FaceTimes me. My son never FaceTimes me ever. He'll call me or he'll text me, but he won't FaceTime me.
Right.
So he FaceTimes me and he's like, I think I'm gonna like go outside for a little bit. And I said, okay. And he goes, whoa. And I'm like, what? He's like, Mom, there's like this beautiful red bird right in front of the house. And I was like, really? And I was like, flip the camera around. And I was like, that's a cardinal.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay. You know, boys, they're like, and
ma, like,
can I have money for an Uber? Like,
right.
Or whatever he needed.
Right,
like, can I order a pizza? You know, and I was like, I said, well, typically what they say, what I learned is that it's supposed to be like a message from somebody who passed on that's close to you.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, wow, that's cool. And I was like, yeah, never said anything else about it.
Yeah.
We're in the hospital and he's like getting all these tests and all this stuff. And he's like so nervous because this is him getting cleared for high school sports.
Right.
Very nice story. Everything went fine.
Thank
Cardiologist is like, I'll see you in a year.
Yeah,
Like they keep postponing any sort of intervention until, you know, as long as it keeps going, whatever. So so I think like he had like this like sigh of relief, and then we were talking like, we're in New York, let's go get some New York City bagels.
Yeah.
And we're like eating the bagel, and he's like, oh, like, Mom, I forgot to tell you. You remember that day where the cardinal was like in front of the house? He's like, yeah. He's like, I went fishing that day. I said, yeah, there's like a pond in our town where you can go fishing. And he goes with his friends. And he's like, I went fishing. And he's like, the cardinal followed me. And I was like fishing, and the cardinal was like chilling there. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, like followed me there.
Get out.
Like the cardinal followed me.
Yeah.
And then was like hanging out while I was fishing. And I was like,
and
also, why didn't you tell me this?
Right.
But it was like, I guess all this stuff with the hospital and stuff that he told me after. And I was just like, that's so crazy. Yeah. But, you know, whether this stuff is real or not real, whether you believe in it or not, the point of what we're talking about here is that sometimes these things feel like messages, and it gives you a sense of closeness. For a 15-year-old boy who's not talking about his grief, who's burying all of it, you know, for him to be like, it was significant enough for him to bring up, you know, on a day where he was stressed, and you know what I mean? So it was like, I was like, you know, who knows? You know, do you really think it was? Yeah, it could be.
You never know. But I do think it was. Yeah. Obviously. Me too. You know, I believe in that.
Yeah, me too. So me too. But I was just like, I was really happy that, not that it happened, that she reached out. I was really happy that he was able to recognize a little bit of comfort in that. Yeah.
I think that's so, like, just even that, like, hearing that, like, it's just like, you know, but I'm like, I want to know more. I'm like, there's something more. And I know there's something more, right? So then it brings us to like mediumship, right? Like, you know, and I'm hoping that we can get one or two to like come on the show, and like, if they want to say, go ahead. Like, I'm open, but I'm also open for that. But like, even that, right? Like, how much can you believe in what they're saying? Like, how is it they're going to breathe through that? And, you know, my husband, he actually did go see one in regards to his dad, to just like kind of get closure for his dad. And my brother came through, and it was just like some specific stuff.
Yeah.
He was like, just don't listen to her. Don't listen to mommy. Just text her instead. You don't have to answer the phone. You can just text her.
Yeah.
And that was like one of the last couple of conversations we had, because like my mom would be like all frantic and everything like that. And he's like, yo, I can't deal with this right now. And I'm like, Sean, like, I can't deal with her. Like, he's like, but that's why you just text her. He's like, sometimes I don't even answer the phone for her. And the fact that he said that, like, and that was like the last couple of conversations that we had. Nobody in the world would know that.
Right.
Because it's between him and I.
Yeah.
So that's why it goes back to even what you're saying, like, just to bring that sense of closeness.
I only had one dream with my sister, and it was really shortly after she passed. And it was like, it wasn't even heartwarming. It was just like, yo, keep telling our inside jokes. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
And she was like, keep telling her inside jokes. And I was like, but you're not here.
Right.
And she was like, but they're still funny.
Yeah.
And it was such a Natalie thing to say. Like, did you laugh though? Like, it was still funny.
Right.
And it was like, oh, because that was the thing with me and my sister. It was always these stupid things that nobody else understood. But we have like all this history of like these dumb things. Like, my sister was somebody who always like picked up a line from a movie or a show or something and would like say it to the point of like nauseum. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, like this part that we wrote for podcast was like the science and psychology behind science, which I thought was very interesting. And it was like how the grieving brain seeks connection and meeting, and like dreams and grief, and it's the role of the subconscious in healing, right? So it's like, can signs be a healthy coping mechanism?
Right.
And when you're dreaming, so this is what I thought was very interesting, is like you finding like your brain is still seeking to heal while you sleep.
Right.
So these dreams is like your subconscious trying to heal.
Yeah.
Which is really nice.
And then it's so crazy because I did have another dream and I wrote it down. And I did, not that I didn't want to bring it up on the pod, but I didn't know if we would have time to talk about it. But it was another one that like I saw my brother and I was like it's like he was standing over me and kind of just like looking over me. And I was like, what are you doing? Why did you leave? Like, what's wrong with you?
Right.
And then like he like came down to my level and then like was like miniature and was just like, I'm always here. Like, what's wrong with you?
Right.
But I was like hysterical, like in the pit of a corner. And like, he was like, you're good. He was like, we're still in this together. You're good. You're good. You're good. So, and then like, it was like a couple of days later, my husband tells me, well, you know, I had a dream with Sean. And I was like, wait, what? He was like, yeah. He was like, he kept like tapping people but only my husband could see him. And everyone kept like looking back, and like my brother was playing jokes on them. Yeah, and then
that's
like,
so funny.
yes, and then that's the thing where I say like, you know that, and like just like being a jokester, and he was like, yo, cut it out,
silly and
like cut it out. People are starting to get like freaked out, like cut it out, and like he's just so. My husband has like this crazy loud laugh, like just an obnoxious, contagious laugh, and then like he said he was cracking up so much in the dream because my brother just kept messing with people. He's like, yo, stop messing with them. Like, yo, you keep messing with them, they gonna think they're crazy. Right. So but again, it's such a like Sean behavior.
Such a funny dream too.
Absolutely. Like, yeah. Like you're like, wait, what? Right. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I think it's also important. Like some cultural beliefs and religious beliefs, they just they don't believe in that. And some do, right?
Yeah.
Like some do.
Yeah. It's this cultural and religious beliefs around after-death communication. Yeah. And some people feel spiritually awakened after or more connected after loss. Right. And it's there's stories of signs that feel undeniable. Yes. Right? Because the candle, I was like, somebody must have lit it and forgot about it. I was like, you know, these damn kids. You know what I mean? Right. They're like, we've been upstairs the whole time.
I'm like, how are you blaming me for something?
Like and then I also was like, oh my God, maybe one of them is like doing this to make me feel better. Like they don't know how to make their mom feel better. Yeah. So maybe we'll like just do this. You know? Right. Like I honestly thought, like, and then I was like, I don't know. And then with her badge in the closet, I was like, there's just no way.
There's just no way.
There's just no way.
But you're since I'm still like far ahead in the sense of grieving and stuff like that, and you're still like in the thick of it, you're gonna get more signs. It's just. We're so
I'm thinking about it with the house.
Yeah, with the peonies. Yeah. I just think that we're just so caught up with
the sunflowers is what I'm gonna
the sunflowers.
The sunflowers is what I'm gonna plant for her.
Sure.
But I do feel like buying a house and like renovating and moving in there, because when I closed, I remember I called my grandmother and I started crying. And she's like, why are you crying? And I was like, because the first person I would have called was my sister. And I was like, you know, and I don't want to make her feel bad because I called her, you know. But I was just like, I really wish that she could be a part of this with me. And my grandmother was like, no more tears. Like, we've had enough tears. And it's true. It's like she'll be there in spirit. So this house has like a beautiful fireplace. The stone goes all the way up to the ceiling. That's beautiful. And I was like, I'm gonna like on the mantle of the fireplace, like, I'm gonna put like her flag and all this stuff. And I was like, beautiful. This is where I'm gonna put everything. Yeah. So I'm wondering if,
but that's what it is
she'll
too.
Give me like a little.
Oh no, she will, and she really, really will. And then the issue is, it's not an issue, but where we are, and I always say this in the tri-state area, including like PA, like Connecticut, like we're just on this hamster wheel that we're just going, and we never pause to be present, and we never pause to just stop and just breathe for a second, right? Like even people have trouble breathing on their own. Like even me, sometimes I catch myself. I was like, "Ooh, I'm shallow breathing."
I catch myself all the time.
And that's the thing, like, we're not even just sitting there just to stop and, what do they say, smell the roses, you know? But I do think that, like, I would love to hear people's stories. I would love to hear this, and I would love for you guys to connect with us. I think, you know, just seeing the signs really does bring closeness, and that they are still around us.
Yeah, and like the last point here is discernment and meaning making. And it's like how to interpret personal signs in a way that supports your healing.
Sure.
And I think that's what we're trying to say is like, no matter how you're getting signs, make sure you're interpreting it in a way that supports your healing.
Yes.
And like there's a difference between reaching for signs and receiving them, and like letting the mystery, I like the last line, letting the mystery be enough.
Yes. Don't question it.
Yeah, just let it be enough. Don't use like a sign to be like, oh, like for guilt.
Yeah.
Oh, that's because this person who passed on really wants me to be doing this or doing that, or
just chill.
Tranquila.
That's it.
Like
just chill.
Like a cubana say, tranquila, tranquila.
That's it.
Just be tranquil and let the mystery be enough, and just take the sign as something beautiful.
I love it. I love that.
With that note, thank you so much.
Thank you. And, you know, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube,
TikTok, Instagram.
We are out there.
Reach out. We love to engage with you.
Yes. Thank you so much.